Hello everyone, it's Lau and working with the wood pile some more. A lot of people seem to appreciate the last video that I did when I was splitting some wood, highlighting some technique. So today I'm going to go over some other techniques that are useful to be efficient with splitting wood so you don't hurt yourself and you can get a lot more done more quickly. This is a technique that I learned from an incredible guy, Woody Wood, who'd homesteaded land in Alaska. He'd built a few log cabins. Phenomenal guy. He'd worked a lot with wood, and he showed me these techniques while I was living with him and his wife, taking care of the property and keeping the wood pile going. So, a lot of times, for instance, you cut down a tree. Let's say you got like this. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to do what's called bucking it, which is cutting it into sections like that, rounds. Usually if you have a wood stove, it's got a certain length restriction or a size restriction, so you're going to cut it to the, sorry there's a spider there, you're going to cut it to the specifications, whether it's 20 inches or 24 inches, that's going to fit your wood stove. And then it's a matter of how well is the wood going to split. If they're big pieces, like a lot of these are here, some of these are 2 feet, nearly 3 feet across diameter, you might be able to get them to split with just a splitting maul or an axe, but it's probably going to be a bit of work, and it might tire you out if you've got a few people. I prefer to do it all by hand instead of using a hydraulic splitter because it's good exercise and it connects you with the earth and good movement for the body. So the technique today is a way of making it more efficient. So instead of trying to use what Woody would call brute strength and ignorance, you'd use some technique. So first thing you do, I'll show you here, there's these lines in the wood here. So what we did is we took a chainsaw and we put them at an angle. So the chainsaw came in like this, cut a deeper cut on this side, and then a shallower cut here. When you're cutting, which is called ripping, if you're cutting in the direction of the grain, it will dull excuse me, your chainsaw much faster. So you don't want to do a lot of cutting like this, so just cutting halfway will do a pretty good job. So cutting halfway through here, you're making what's called a kerf, and this kerf will make it a lot easier to split it, and I'll show you how to do that. So the tools you'll need generally for this are a chainsaw to get the first cuts going, the kerf. So you've got the kerf started here, and you get yourself some steel wedges. You can use also the edge or an old maul, splitting maul handle, but you've got some steel wedges here. You can get at most hardware stores. Small little 3-pound sledgehammer, or a bigger sledgehammer if you want. And you can also use a full sledge if you want to use that. It's just a bit more work. So what we'll do is like this. We'll set up the wedges. You want to start, if you can see here, on the outside edge. This is the most important part of the wood when you're splitting it, whether with an axe or with a maul. Because if you can split here, it's kind of like the if you think of a wood barrel, this is kind of like the steel on the outside. You want to cut this and break this first, and it'll make the rest of it go much faster. And then you'll get the other one in there, and we'll just start tapping them. You want to make sure you wear some ear protection or some eye protection when you're doing this, so that any sound doesn't hurt your ears and any shards of metal don't get into your eyes. So I'll just do a little demonstration here. You just tap them in, and you go back and forth. You don't have to use a lot of power, you just go back and forth.